Welcome to my home. I'm excited to show you my kitchen and how I've set it up. I've been in this house about 5 years, and because I took the time to map the kitchen out before I put the things away, I haven't had to change much, just a few drawer touch-ups from time to time. I find, though, that we don't waste time looking for things. I don't have many things that I don't use. I don't have to shop for new items because I'm confident my kitchen has enough, and my kitchen really doesn't cause me any stress. What made me fall in love with this kitchen is this huge 16-foot island and all of the natural light that pours in all day. I will use my kitchen as a real scenario to walk you through some principles and techniques so that you can maximize your kitchen's potential. I'll also revisit my recommendations for the best places to store different categories of items and share what I believe works best for containers and drawer organizers. I know you might be feeling a bit anxious, that scared and excited feeling, thinking, well, her kitchen layout is nothing like mine and the size is totally different. But you don't have to worry. Honestly, it does not matter. And how I know this is because our team has organized thousands of kitchens and they were all really different. So this nervousness might be the perfectionist in you worrying that you might get it wrong, but I'm here to guide you. So please let that feeling go and say, not today. I'm not going to pay attention to you and I'm going to get this done. We always use the same method as what I'm sharing with you in this course, and it always works regardless of the size or layout. A quick note on shelving. Everything can be adjusted. We almost always move shelves up or down to optimize space. You have to pay special attention to vertical space and use it all. I've even drilled new holes along the side gables and had hardware stores cut new shelves for clients to create additional vertical space. I did that here in my cabinet to add a shelf to accommodate my obsession with little serving dishes. When we start placing things back, we usually start from the bottom, adjusting the shelf height just above the tallest item, and keep this going until you reach the top shelf. You'll be surprised how much space this creates, and you might get lucky to be able to add an additional shelf. One housekeeping item, make sure that all of your drawers and cupboards are vacuumed at this point and wipe them clean. This is the best time because everything is out. This never happens. I have this little vacuum that I absolutely love, and I bring it to every client's house. I recommend keeping one handy in your kitchen so that you can easily and quickly vacuum your drawers in a pinch. The simplified method of putting everything back always follows the same formula. First, we'll focus on the absolute essentials. These categories need to go back first. Remember, I've labeled and numbered the categories in the PDF so that it's easy for you to follow along and it won't be overwhelming. You will systematically go through all of the categories in numerical order. So let's start with number 1, which is eating utensils or cutlery. Try keeping them in a top drawer near the dishwasher or the sink. You can keep serving spoons here too. Remember, a set of 8 to 10 utensils should be enough. If you have extras, stash them in a Ziploc bag and keep them somewhere else in your house instead of trying to cram them all into the drawer. I recommend using an expandable cutlery tray or individual containers that are slightly longer than the utensils. Next, your everyday plates and bowls need to go back, and these are usually kept in the lower shelf of an upper cabinet or in a drawer that's close to the dishwasher. Once you have them all in place, adjust the shelf above so you can comfortably remove the top dish. I personally keep mine in a drawer next to the dishwasher due to limited upper cabinets, but make sure that your drawer has enough clearance to keep the dishwasher and the drawer open at the same time. Now, instead of using shelf risers for plates and bowls, consider adding a new shelf for more space so that you can take advantage of the entire flat surface. Drinking glasses come next. Find a cabinet or a drawer close to the sink to store these. If you're putting them in a cabinet, arrange them starting with the most frequently used ones on the bottom shelf, working your way up. Remember to move each shelf down so that it just clears the top of the glasses and you can still easily grab them. Aim to keep around 8 to 10 of 2 different sizes and choose whether to store them rim up or rim down. It's really up to you. Next up, wine glasses. These are usually kept on a shelf above the drinking glasses or in a bar area. Again, this might involve adjusting shelves. And if you rarely use wine glasses, keep them up high in a cupboard. Don't keep them in valuable space if they just collect dust. So it's pretty hard to cook without pots and pans, so we're going to talk about those next. Choose 2 deep drawers near the stove and really think about which pots and pans you use regularly. Keep the ones that you rarely use in basement storage and test to see if you can live with 6 to 8 total in your kitchen. Ask yourself, do I really love this? Do I really use this? And would I go out and buy this again today? It's really essential to not overcrowd these 2 drawers because you're using them all the time. If you need 3 drawers, I feel you might have too many pots and pans, and now might be a good time to purge some out. I recommend using a small, soft container for oven mitts and keep them in one of the 2 drawers so that they always have a place to go back to. Your strainer can be kept here as well, and if it doesn't fit here, keep it elsewhere nested in a large baking bowl. Next in numerical order is cooking utensils, short and long. Try to keep them separated because the long ones are usually for cooking and the short ones are usually for other jobs. They should be kept in 1 or 2 top drawers that are near the stove. I suggest using spring-loaded drawer dividers or trays to keep them organized. And remember, duplicates only clutter up your drawers. If it's too crowded in the drawer, take some of the longer ones out and store them on the countertop, like mine, for easy access. And don't forget, if you enjoy chopsticks, get a set and start refusing those disposable ones when you order sushi. You might be surprised to find Coffeetown listed at number 11, but rest assured you can move it anywhere you like. It might even be number 1 for you, and that's fine. I always strive to create a dedicated coffee area or station for my clients to streamline their mornings. Personally, I don't usually keep my Coffeetown here. I keep it in the pantry, but I've set one up for you so you can see another option for your kitchen. Ideally, coffee cups should be kept near the coffee maker, either above it on a lower shelf or beneath it on a cupboard or a drawer. If space permits, store your 3 to 4 coffee travel mugs in this area too, all contained together. Yes, you heard me right. Most people keep way more than necessary. The same principle applies to your regular coffee cups. If you're a collector of mugs, consider the value of the space they're occupying. Reflect on why you collect them and the reasons you find it hard to part with them. Remember the 7 reasons why we hold on to things, and maybe this will be helpful. Consider taking pictures of your collections and then donating the physical items. Remember, clutter comes with a cost. It consumes time, space, energy, and it can affect your mental health. In reality, you only need about 8 to 10 mugs. If you really can't let go of the collection because you're probably a well-loved teacher, try to not keep them in your main space because the real estate is too valuable here. If your drawer space is limited, but you have a lot of upper cabinets, keep a container of tea in this area as well. Storing tea in a long container can create a drawer-like setup on a shelf. I prefer to store mine in this neat little organizer, and I just keep it up on a shelf. Given that you probably need your morning fuel first thing, keep the coffee sweeteners in this area as well. It's gotta be easy and quick when you're still half asleep or when you have company over and you're trying to visit. If you use a teapot or a French press, place it on the shelf above the coffee cups so that your coffee and tea town is complete. Let's discuss appliances next. I recommend placing these on a lower shelf or in cupboards in the back of your island. Keep any spare parts in a container for easy and safe access next to the appliances. If you have larger, seldom used parts, store them high up on a top shelf. This category requires some courage on your part, so consider letting go of the novelty appliances that rarely see use or the ones that are archaic due to multifunction devices like an Instapot. Do you have a mother, mother-in-law, or grandmother who enjoys knitting dishcloths for you? Let's discuss tea towels and dishcloths. You likely have too many. Please don't hate me for that. But if you do laundry once a week, you really only need to keep 5 or 6 of each. Avoid storing your backup tea towels in a tiny kitchen drawer. It's a simple yet effective method to free up space. Pare down the essentials. Less is more. Typically, these items are kept in a smaller drawer near the sink. Smaller, of course, because you took my advice and pared them down. I like to use a container for these items as well and use an accordion storage system so that you can easily see what you have. The accordion storage system is what I like to use for any clothing, linen, or towels stored in drawers because it allows you to see the tops and grab what you need. I'm not too fussed about the way you fold it. Remember, my motto is progress over perfection. A tri-fold or a multiple fold is what works, but whatever allows you to fit it in the drawer, in the container, is good for me. Up next is Sharptown. Knives and cutting boards are kind of like best friends. They should be kept together. If you have little ones in your house, consider keeping your knives in an upper drawer for safety. I have a couple of different knife organizers that I really like, but it boils down to what suits you. And if you have a knife sharpener, it's a good idea to keep it tucked in the back of the knife drawer. Be careful not to keep too many knives, duplicates, or the ones that your parents gave you. They're old, they probably don't work, and it's time to part ways. If you're short on drawers, knife blocks are a great idea to keep on the countertop. For cutting boards, I prefer keeping them in a vertical divider, in an upper cabinet, or in a lower cabinet. This metal one's been a lifesaver in many clients' homes. It allows you to see them all and easily grab the one that you want. You really don't need more than 2 to 4, so don't hang on to too many cutting boards. Now, food storage containers are a peculiar thing. Have you ever noticed how those missing socks sometimes turn into food storage containers and lids? Where do they all come from? You really don't need as many as you think. Aim for just enough that would fit in your fridge if you had a fridge full of food. I suggest a lower drawer for these. Trust me, I know how much you love them, but most families of 4 keep 8 to 12 pieces, and that's enough. Stick to the square ones, they're easier to store. And those giant ones for parties or cupcakes, keep them up high so the drawer doesn't get crowded. A metal pull-out drawer can transform any lower shelf into a pull-out, making containers easier to reach. As for lids on or off, it's totally up to you. I prefer to keep them off, but it's a personal choice. If you decide to keep them off, keep them in a container so that they're easy to find. And don't get stuck in keeping lids just in case you find the bottom. It's not worth it, and they add up, so let them go. Speaking of drawers, you may or may not have room for a junk drawer. It's okay if you don't, because most of the things in there don't really belong in the kitchen anyway. If you do decide to have one, make sure it's at one end of the row of drawers away from the heart of the kitchen. I always use small, clear containers for junk drawers, and I limit it to pens, paper, keys, scissors, a few tools, reading glasses, and maybe 1 or 2 other categories. I prefer to call it a work drawer because junk really doesn't belong in your kitchen. If you have small children, dedicate a lower drawer to them. This can hold all of their plastic bowls, plates, glasses, sippy cups, baby bottles, and even kids' lunch containers. It's always easier to keep things in containers so they don't end up flying all around the drawer. Labeling the inside lip of drawers helps young children read, and it also helps them to know where to return items. They say that if everything was set up like a kindergarten classroom, we would have much less chaos in our homes. For the rest of the categories, you can review and study the PDF attached in the last module. Please use my Amazon stores as a resource. I've spent years testing every product that's in there, and I've narrowed it down to the best because they work. Everything in my US and Canada Amazon stores are products that our team uses and trusts. I've arranged my stores into rooms and put items into each room so that you can quickly and easily see my recommendations. Please also reference my PDF for this module to see my tried and true organizing recommendations. As you put things back, you'll figure out what's essential and what's not. Let your space in your kitchen dictate what you keep. It's all about right sizing. If it doesn't fit, you won't be happy and you won't address it later. So don't try to jam it all in. Take your time. Remember, there's a cost to keeping it. Try storing overflow elsewhere. I bet after some time you'll find you don't miss it at all and you'll be happy to donate it. Remember when we cut out all of those labels that I gave you in the PDFs? Now you're going to take those and you're going to make towns, but you're going to make the towns on the front of the drawers and the cupboards in your kitchen. Planning it out is really important. That's what we're doing now. Ideally, I want everything to go back in, and I'm sure you do too, but plan B has to be in place that some things may have to go elsewhere, up high or in a storage room, because it might just not all fit. You need to right size, and remember, the drawers and the cupboards are the bad guys, not you. When you're putting things back, be flexible in your mind and don't put things back in the exact same place that they were unless it really worked for you. It's never really about one drawer or cupboard. They all interflow. And it's important to keep each drawer, each cabinet to one category, just like a store, so that you can find it and people in your house can find it. But you take the category tags and you plan it out. You put them around the kitchen and you place them on the front of the cabinets and the drawers. Get your family involved. If your spouse or your partner or your kids don't really understand the costs of clutter to you, you need to be strong and you need to stand up and say, there's a cost to clutter for me. It's costing me my time, my energy, my space, my money, my mental and physical health. It's even costing our relationships. We're fighting all the time about where to find things. So it's important as a family that everybody's on board and that you tour them around and get them involved in this process, because then there'll be more respect. When they put things away, they'll put them in the right place, or they'll at least think about it because they understand the cost to you.